Hello, guys. Hello. Oh my gosh. I feel so weird being here. Um, yeah, hello. I'm finally back. I'm finally back. I hope this video finds everyone well. I hope we're all safe. I hope we're all sound. Of course, I am in England, Norfolk. For those of you that want to catch up really quick, I am the admin of the HIT program for Black women, the Laws of Enchantress. And I recently got married myself to my love, Jason, who's somewhere around here. He's gonna let me do this video by myself. And I've been so busy. Guys, being a wife is serious. I'm a full-time housewife, homemaker, and I am getting used to it. Hey, Ava! I'm feeling much better. I was not feeling that great last week, but now I'm feeling much better. So I got married February 11th in Norfolk Castle, and we had a reception at Broome Hotel. And I've been really hyper focusing because, I want to be traditional, stay at home wife and planning to have children. So it's been a lot with COVID, the restrictions. It's just been a lot of stuff. So I just hope everyone's out there. Thank you guys. You're such good fans. I saw my page growing. So if you're watching this video, I also have another channel called The Laws of Enchantress. It's a YouTube channel. Please subscribe to The Laws of Enchantress because I can't even I can't even go live on that page because I need 1,000 subscribers. I'm about 800. So I came on for a very special reason. I promise I'm going to start doing my videos. Hi, Lila. But I came on for a very special reason. The reason I came on is, I want to reaffirm my commitment to Black women. I'm the HIT admin for the HIT program, the Laws of Enchantress. I started that program 2 years ago, and the whole basis of the program was a self love, self healing, self empowerment, and really a hyper focus on traditional courtship. Hi! I've been busy being married. Yes, I've been busy being married. So I have like over 3,000 emails. Yes, I still do HR. Yes, I still do HR counseling. Yes, I still do business counseling. I just been busy in another country, trapped in another country, getting married, plan to have babies, and all that wonderful stuff. So the reason I wanted to come on tonight, number one, the Laws of Enchantress program is still going. So far, we have 20 women who use the program for self-love, self-confidence, self-healing. This hyper focuses on being proactive. I work with the Gottman Institute. I work with actual therapists, relationship experts, and matchmakers, all really focus for Black women to have healthy, happy, prosperous marriages. There's a lot of tools out there that's science-based and fact-based that you do not have to guess. And I utilize them, I work with them, and I coach with them. So I formulated a step-by-step program, video course, for that entire Enchantress. And so since we came out, since May 2018, over 20 Black women used my program to get to where they want to get married. Actually, one of my clients today was having her wedding. She's having her social distancing wedding, and she actually live streamed that for us. So I'm really excited to see Black women still getting married and finding healthy, happy partnerships with people right now, even though it's COVID. So, congratulations to her. I hope she sees this. She was a beautiful bride, beautiful ceremony. And I think it's super romantic that people are still going out of their way to get married, even though we're going through COVID. So the name of this video is The Angry Black Woman Myth. What is the angry Black woman myth? So many of you know that I have thank you, Lila. Many of you know that I have a strong Black background working with women. I was an HR director for over 20 years. I got my education in HR, my bachelor's in HR, and I've been working with primarily women my entire life. And I started to focus hyper on Black women because we have a lot of unique situations. We have a lot of unique obstacles. And unfortunately, in mainstream psychology and mainstream stuff, they tend to leave Black women off. So I just grew a really good connection working in the bridal industry for over 5 years. And I was the HR there at one of the biggest flagships in the entire world. and I saw probably over 1,000 women, and I used to engage them in terms of asking them questions. I made the questionnaires, how to, talk to a new bride, and I started to notice a lot of disparities in between, non-minority brides and minority brides. So I use a lot of my self experience, my education, and just my passion for having black women be happy, my passion for loving black women, for believing in black women, and letting black women know there's absolutely no limits to what you can have and what you can achieve as long as you believe. There's a lot of negativity out here in social media. There's a lot of, I call them trauma pimps, where they pimp your trauma, where they trigger you. A lot of negative black women in the social media world that talk about the same things the same times, and they make money. I'm not knocking people's hustle, but I'm here for you. I'm here to develop your life. A lot of you guys, my channel is almost as old as my relationship. So you guys saw me from a single black woman to getting courted by Jason, to getting engaged with Jason, us even having our 2 month crazy breakup, then getting married to Jason. You saw my actual evolution. You saw me use what I was implementing, and what I was using was cultivating a healthy courtship, cultivating a healthy marriage, and even able to overcome obstacles to be happily married, because I'm very happy. We're very happy. That's why you haven't seen me on, because I'm out there being happy. I'm out there, like really soaking up all this love. It's a wonderful time for us. So, what is the angry black woman myth? I just have to catch you guys up. For people who are like, why is she taking so long to get to it? It's because I haven't been on for so long. So just give me a minute. I had to just touch base with my fans. So what I want to say, first of all, the angry black women myth is probably one of the most self-destructive things that black women are doing today. And it's a myth because not even black women are aware of what's happening with black women. Today, I think the trigger for me, I was watching a clip someone sent me from the Oprah Winfrey channel, the Oprah channel, and I can't pronounce the black lady's name. I think she's a therapist, and it's called Ilana, Fix My Life. And she literally had a series of black men that were on there saying why we don't date black women. And I just thought the whole thing was like a trauma drama. You turn your trauma into drama, you make money. And it was just completely self-destructive. Because number one, those women aren't responsible for men's trauma. And number two, before you can forgive anything in life, you have to understand why. You don't have to get closure per se, but in order for you to forgive, you have to go through the foundations of yourself, forgiving yourself, loving yourself, and understanding basic human psychology. You don't have to become a psychologist or be a geek or a nerd, but so many of us rush to either black or white, no pun intended, on why people do things, why people say things, why people engage people the way they do. And I think for 2020, as you can see, 2020 has been a crazy year. I mean, I've been enjoying myself staying home because I'm an online shopper. You guys know I love shopping on Groupon. I love shopping online. I love shopping at my Macy's sales. I don't care what anyone says. I call all my Victoria's Secret sales. I love my Victoria's Secrets. I love the lotion and the stuff. I'm a girly girl. I love to shop. I was on my Amazon shopping. I like to shop online. But besides that, when I look at stuff like this and I see it, I really don't think people understand, and black women and black men, I don't think we understand what's happening in front of us. We're connected. I know it's not a popular stance to take because you have a lot of divestment groups, drama groups, spy versus spy, black men are bad, black women are bad, but this is a very special year. This is a very unique year. You're seeing a lot of things happening that wasn't supposed to happen. You got COVID-19, you had people die you didn't think they were going to die, you got a lot of changes in the financial markets, you got a lot of changes in life, jobs are disappearing, industries are disappearing. There's a lot of energy in the universe. There's a lot of energetic shift. And I really think that 2020 is trying to show us what's important. It's forcing us to heal. It's forcing us to take a deeper look at each other as people. It's forcing us to step away from the negativity dealers, the negativity Titanics, the people who keep throwing you the same negativity preserver. I tell black women all the time, I'm not here to argue with people, debate people. I want black women to enter a realm of happiness. I don't want to have to keep going to Better Homes and Gardens and Martha Stewart anytime I want peace and tranquility. I want to see black women living this life. Marriage is not a fairy tale. If married black women tell you that, they're evil because they're telling you how bad marriage is. You got to be an escort. You got to be a stripper. You got to be a sex worker. It's absolutely not true. And you do not have to marry a millionaire, billionaire to live well. The truth is, outside of lower socioeconomic demographics, the average man takes care of his woman. You don't got to believe me. Click off and go to the Pew Research. The average man wants to lead, provide, and protect. You don't have to believe me, okay? Like I said, I'm very fact-based. That's why people attack me, people drag me, discredit me. But I'm the only black woman that I know as a certified coach, life coach, and relationship coach. And I've been doing this for years, okay? You can go to my hashtags. This is not a trend. That's actually getting black women happily married. So well that people take it, make the program, and try to do their own stuff. I don't care. My mission is to truly better the lives of black women, not just better my life and I'm living well and I'm sitting pretty. I want to see black women do well. I want us to enter a realm of loving, forgiveness, and compassion. I want us to really work for the sisterhood because the sisterhood is real. When I got back with Jason, he proposed to me and said he can't wait. He want to get married now. He don't want to make a mistake again. And literally, I came over here to see what the heck happened because he ghosted me. And it was just, I was completely honest with what happened. And there was a lot of interference. That's the first thing you need to know as a black woman. People don't want to see you live well. That's all I'm going to say. People do not like to see an African American woman live well. And it could be people who look just like me and you. I'm not going to detour. But when I came here, Jason wanted to get married right away. And in Great Britain, you have to wait about 70 days because I'm a foreign person, even though I'm American. And literally, my fans, who most of them I've never met in person, literally were like, Connie, we can't let you do this alone. You've been there for us. You've been supporting us. You've been changing lives. You've been empowering us. You've been giving us love. You've been taking all kinds of craziness, and you never give up. And they said, we're going to be there for you. So I had black women I've never met just through my page and coaching them one-on-one, flew all over the world, from Hawaii, from Chicago, from Indianapolis, from South Carolina, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., New York, Brooklyn, Alabama. I was like, wow. And that to me was just as special, just as sacred as the actual wedding. The black sisterhood is real. I deal with black women who drag me, gossip me, sabotage, but that's a part of life. And we're also taught in this society to be hateful towards each other, to be catty. There's a lot of external psychological factors. And I'm here to do something nobody's ever done for black women. Understand you. For black men, understand them. And to actually have healthy solutions and end the people who are pimping your pain, and the people who are pimping your insecurities, and the people who will bring you cattiness and drama. And they turn this video off when they freak out your brain and they live their life. And their life is getting better. And you've been following them, coaching with them, paying with them, doing stuff with them for years, and your life is not getting any better. This is not about me. Like I said, I'm happily married. I'm so grateful to God. I'm with my husband, and I love him so much. Like, he is, I just told him, you can't ask for a better husband. He gets better and better every single day. But what I'm going to say about the angry black women, first of all, it's a myth. And I think the reason why we think black women are so angry is because black women don't know how to talk about black women, period. Meaning that psychologically, if I'm an abusive person, right, and every day I come home I abuse you, I'm going to have to find fault with everything you do, because I'm going to give a facade or a mirage That it's not about me being abusive, it's about you not being able to do the right thing. So I'm going to keep finding fault with stuff and nagging you and saying you can't clean the house good or your food tastes like crap. That happens because that person is abusive and they need a scapegoat to abuse you. So when you act out, they're going to say, oh, you're acting out. You're acting out. You're not acting out. You're being abused. And the reason why black women, rightfully so, are going through trauma, are going through drama, they can't get along with their mother, they can't get along with their friends, they can't hold relationships, they can't forgive, they got bad communication skills, they got bad listening skills, they don't know how to have intimacy and privacy with their friends. It's just drama, drama, drama. They cause problems, they drop bombs, they talk about shade, throwing shade, tea, dragging for filth. These are all acronyms for emotional abuse, psychological abuse. It's in the Pew Research. I didn't make this up. And the reason why black women may seem angry is because we're not looking what's happening to black women. Black women are 80% of the economic household in America. More than 3/3 of black women, these are actual statistics, write it down, more than 3/3 of black women are raising their families financially alone. Black women are out of the 13, 14% of black people, okay? And out of the 8%, black women represent almost 40% of all domestic abuse, almost 50% of all homicide, that means murders, a ridiculous astronomical amount of kidnappings that no one says. And for the first time in American history, the American Psychological Association and the Pew Research said black women are starting to age, accelerating aging, meaning that we're getting older than our physical body. Okay? Hey, Starlight, we're getting older than our physical body because we're taking on a lot of stress. So I don't think black men and black women are aware of this data. It's impossible because mainstream, whether it's liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat, Hillary, Trump, no matter what side you're on, no one is telling you these unique statistics that's happening to black women. And it's not about wanting black women only or whatever. These are actual statistics. Black women are dying disproportionately in childbirth 10 times more. Even when they adjust for poverty, even when they adjust for health, even when they adjust for college education, it doesn't matter. Our children, our infant children are dying. For the first time in history, they're having an epidemic of young black children between the ages of 6 and 12 committing suicide. We are psychologically, emotionally handicapped. We don't understand the trauma of emotional pain. We don't understand the trauma of psychological pain. And we're just carrying on this pain. I see black women, no shade, complain about black men, how bad black men are, how horrible. And they use that same behavior towards each other. There need to be healthy boundaries. There need to be healthy establishments. You cannot say this man is bad and you use the same behavior towards one another. I've had arguments with people, disagreements with people, but I have integrity and boundaries because if you don't make boundaries, someone can get hurt. If you don't have boundaries and limitations, something can get too far. And I've seen many times with black women, things get too far. Because if you leave that bad relationship, it doesn't matter. You're still bringing that energy. If you leave that trauma, it doesn't matter. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, you're perfect. No one here is perfect. But we're talking about making 2020 the last 6 months, the year you heal, the year you reveal. I'm going to tell you something black women don't want to hear. Your level up is not going to come on the crushed backs of black men. I'm married to a white British man. For all you guys who want to swirl an interracial date or cupcake or whatever you call or open your options, men who are not black are not attracted to women who are dragging black men. I have access to pages and places you don't have access to because my husband, who is Caucasian British, hooks me up. I get into chat rooms with businessmen, important men, all kinds of stuff. I'm not saying anymore because I don't want to blow up any spots. And a lot of men who are outside the community are paying attention to black women trashing them because men they don't want the spare. Men don't want you to come to them because you have no other choice. Would you want that? I want you guys to close your eyes just for a second. Just close your eyes if you're not driving. And picture you are an HR director like me. And picture you're about to keep your eyes closed. Picture you're about to interview someone. And that person looks good, smells good, they got the nice outfit on, and they come into your HR office. The credentials look good, everything checks out, and you say, hey, why did you leave your last job? And they say, because I hated my manager. My manager was an ass. I can't stand them. Why did you leave Tiffany and Company? Or why did you leave Saks Fifth Avenue? Why did you leave these nice stores? Oh, I can't stand these bosses. I hate them. I hate them. Even if, okay, even if those things are the truth, would you hire that person? I want somebody to talk. I want somebody to tell me, would you hire somebody if you were the boss that bad mouths their boss? Even if you know in your spirit and your soul that was the absolute truth, I wouldn't hire them because they're going to probably do the same shit to me. I wouldn't hire them. So why should men want to date you if you're out here giving off this persona that black men hate you, black men can't stand you? There's certain things you got to know when to talk about it. And are we being productive? Are we doing solutions? Are we actually saying, let's break the psychological trauma? Are we reaching out? Are we expressing? Are we saying, okay, we're done with this certain segment of people. Let's move on. Let's be positive. Black women, your pain is being pimped. I've only been on the scene for 2 years, and there are over 20 black women in their 40s with kids, single, ebony rich, light skin, biracial, getting married, getting happy. There's actual progress. And the amount of attacks I got I was so excited because I said, wow, I must be doing something, because you got black women on this YouTube telling you to sell your pum pum. You got black women on this YouTube telling you that escorting is the only way. You got black women on this YouTube telling you that the only thing you can do is be a Splenda baby, not even a sugar baby. Okay? And that is not true. That is not how reality works. That's not how the world works. Your man doesn't have to be a millionaire, billionaire to take care of you, to love you, provide you, and build for you. That's absolutely natural. There's a very small segment of the population that abandons women, that desecrates women. Unfortunately, disproportionately, black women have absorbed a lot of that. So you think that's the reality? It's not. The community I'm living in now, everybody's a housewife. The community I'm living in now, it's normal. It's not a big deal. It's just the way it is. So what I want black women and black men to do, the black men who want to do better, the black men who want to feel better, because you have to understand how this thing works. I'm going to tell you a small story. My father, when he used to work for the city of New York, he used to work for social services and sanitation. And part of his job as an executive was managing the welfare program. And you would be surprised of how many, I want you guys to listen. Thank you, Starlight. I'm reading that. You'll be surprised of how many non-black women actually come from Russia or other countries, and they are poor. And they get on that welfare, they get on that Section 8, they do what they got to do, they get off, they bounce, whatever. And I started to look into why there was such a rush, no pun intended, of Russian women. Like, where are all these Russian women coming from? Why are there so many? And I saw that out of every country in Europe, Russia has a ridiculous, astronomical amount of domestic abuse. Also, they have a ridiculous, astronomical amount of alcohol abuse. The men are like severe alcohols. They also have a high saturation of prostitution, escort, and sex industry. I could not believe what I was reading, because you don't hear about this in mainstream news. You don't hear about this in the media. You don't hear about this on the radio. You don't read about it in the magazine. And a lot of these women are escaping bad situations. Hey, what up, B? Hi. A lot of the women are escaping bad situations. Listen to me carefully, black women. I want you to listen. A lot of you guys are taking advice from these women that are coming from situations far worse than any project, any hood, any ghetto, any place that you've been ashamed to believe. And they are coming to this country. And because they got complexion and eyes and they get a little bit of mouth injections, you think that they're billionaires. You think they're not. They're not. Don't you know why they had Russian mail order brides? But the thing about Russian women, they're fighting for their rights in Russia. They're standing in the square in Russia. They're fighting because it's a very rigid regime. It's communism. And when I read how Ukrainian, Slovakian, all these Eastern European women that we think are so high class and high end, literally they're probably in these, and God bless them, and I mean it, in bad situations. You don't have to listen to me. You can pause this video and just Google domestic violence in Russia. Pause this video and Google alcohol abuse in Russia. A lot of these women are getting severe physical abuse. And you're probably saying, what does this got to do with angry black women? Well, I'll tell you why. Russian women are smart enough to know if they came on this YouTube, okay? If they came on this YouTube and said, Russian men are bad, Russian men suck, Russian men don't want me, does anybody want to buy me? I'm a mail order bride. Russian men this and Russian men that. They don't do that because they know there's a certain way to do that because they want to protect their image. They want to project themselves as high class and high end. And one thing all these social media people don't tell you, it's very hard for you as a woman to be covetable if your own man don't covet you. It's very impossible. So you need to give off a persona. Just like when you're going for a job interview, you don't tell the actual HR director that my last job sucked. My manager sucked. I hate it. I didn't like working at Macy's. I didn't like working at Saks. I didn't like working at Tiffany's. I can't stand my boss. If you talk like that, no matter your credentials, no one's going to hire you. So Russian women keep this on the low. You will never see a Russian woman on this YouTube dragging Russian men. Even though they're probably getting more abused than black women, even though they're probably suffering more alcoholism than black women. I read somewhere that the men drink about 9 to 10 bottles of vodka a year. Have you ever had Russian vodka? That thing is strong like Hercules. And it's actually a lot of domestic violence throughout Western Europe. But these women are smart enough, they're not coarse, to tell the whole world how much the men doesn't want to marry them, how much the men abuse them. I'm not saying for us as black women not to have solutions, for us as black women not to be proactive, and for us as black women not to address these problems. But that's not what's happening. People are using the same trigger bait to get you angry year after year, day after day, time after time. You're not making progress. You're not making changes in your life. You're not doing it. Remember, this is about you. It's not about me. I'm not going to sit in front of the ocean and, I got my glass of Prosecco, show you how good my life is. This is about you. This is about you. Yeah, Ava, Ava, no, Russians don't play. I had a Russian boyfriend for 5 years. That's all I'm going to say. In college. He was my college boyfriend until a year after I graduated for 5 years. And that's all I'm going to say. Like, they are some rough people. There are some rough people. But they do a pretty good job of controlling their image. So if you truly have issues, okay, thank you, Cassie. If you truly have issues, let's work on healing. If you truly have issues, let's work on solutions. Let's network with the healthy black men because they're out there. I know quite a few. You know why? Because I have no space in my world for any type of black man, white man, yellow man. I don't care if you don't treat women with respect, if you're not a traditionalist, if you don't believe protecting, providing, if you don't have some type of faith-based structure, and we're going to talk about that later. But the reason why black women appear to be so angry, and it's not true, is because no one knows the suffering of black women. Nobody understands what's happening to black women. Nobody is actually saying it. So it's like you're beating somebody up, and then when they're angry because they're getting punched in the face, you point at them and say, ha ha, punch in the face. Black women are oversaturated in the workforce. Black women are only 8% of the female population, represent 40%. Black women donate the more of their money to their marriage, more than any other woman in America. It was so funny. I was doing coaching, a live coaching seminar in my paid group, and CNN had this amazing piece, how black men are succeeding in America. So I actually said, oh great, because I'm very neutral. I said, oh great, I want to see how black men are doing. So it says they're moving into the upper middle class. Did you guys see that piece? It's called How Black Men Are Succeeding. You can look it up right now. CNN, How Black Men Are Succeeding. So me being a nerd and a geek, I started to say, wait a minute. It says they're succeeding into higher socioeconomic class because of marriage. They're succeeding because black wives contribute more to their marriage than any other American woman. So you're not succeeding because of you. You are succeeding because of your woman. Now, I'm going to sit down here and tell you something. I'm a fan of Louis Farrakhan, even though I'm not Muslim. I don't care about his other stuff, but I am a fan. So let me tell you something. The biggest con job in the world is that they have conditioned black men. They have stole their king chromosome. They have really convinced black men you can't provide, you can't protect, you can't lead. In the same breath, black women are doing it all by themselves. It's the biggest joke I've ever seen, and so many black women are so scared if they do raise their standards, if they do say, hey, you got to protect and provide. Black women are like abused in the mainstream workforce. They have I read a study that was about, it was from the Nielsen report that actually shows expenditures in demographics, the Nielsen report, and it was talking about spending power. So Hispanic men on average have less education than black men, less skills than black men, and per job they earn less than black men. But when you looked at the household income, Hispanic Americans are starting to surpass African Americans. Why? Because these men have a traditional provider mindset. A lot of Hispanic men, especially South American, they got their Christian faith, the real one, that the four chicken wings and pork fried rice. Not going to talk about that right now. And they actually believe in gender roles. They believe in traditionalism. So they might work 2, 3 jobs, okay? They might work 2, 3 jobs, all right? And the woman can stay home, take care of the kids, run the house, manage the bills, whatever they work out. But that healthy structure is growing generational wealth fast. It's not a fairy tale. That traditional form of a woman being a housewife, raising the kids, focusing, and him providing, it's actually causing them to build wealth twice as fast. It's not a fairy tale. It's not a dream. And the fact is, we as black women, what are we going to do? Even if you're my husband's Caucasian. He's British. That's where I am right now. I'm in Norfolk. You think my husband would be attracted to me if I'm trashing black men, if I hate black men? You have to understand what the Russian women do. A lot of them have a lot of strong sentiments against their own kind, but they're very strategic in how and when they express it. They're fighting. They're standing right now in Moscow. They're standing right now in Moscow, and they are protesting, and they're fighting with communism. They're fighting with Putin. They are fighting. Yeah, well, the problem is, and I'll be honest with you, the problem is black people don't know their history. I'm Jamaican descent. I was born um, Prosecco. I was born in America, in Brooklyn, East New York, Bed-Stuy, baby, baby, for the mercy. Okay, and Let me tell you something, and this is something you probably gonna get mad at, okay? Black women have to understand, and black men, this was engineered. I know people are gonna say I'm a mammy, but my man is white, so shut up, sit down, and get some education. Back in the 1960s, that's when we had the highest growth of social economic reform for African American people. It was the highest introduction into the middle class, the highest introduction into entrepreneurs. It was the highest introduction into advanced educations. In the 1960s, the African American woman was the most married female demographic in America. In the 1960s, African American people, the out of wedlock rate was only 22% in the 1960s. That's it, 22%. And that was high. So you have to ask yourself a question. And I know my black women are intelligent, and I know my black men are intelligent. I need you to ask yourself a question. How is it possible from 1960s you had less broken homes, less domestic violence, there was no such thing as abortion, y'all didn't even have birth control pills, and you didn't have children out of wedlock? I need you guys to think. They're tricking you. You're not going to get far on the backs of your black men. Because when you leave the black community, non-black people clump you together. You think that if you trash him, they're going to look at you in a high status? I'm in a European country. I can tell you that it's not true. They clump y'all together. Black man, black woman. So all that trashing you doing is going to come back like a boomerang. It's going to come back like a boomerang. And they will treat you accordingly. Just ask Stacey Dash what happened to her ass. So ask yourself, if in 1960s, African American people were making huge social economic strides, what happened? If in 1960s, black people were getting married, what happened? What happened? So I said, oh my gosh, I have to find out. So I went to the Smithsonian African American Museum. I went in person, I went online, I did extensive research, and I talk about this in my coaching program. And I was shocked at what I found. There's something called the Negro Project, okay? It's worse than that, my beautiful Lila. There's something called the Negro Project by Margaret Sanger. And she worked with eugenics. She worked with Nazis. She worked with the racist people, okay? And they said, we have to destroy the black family. KKK didn't work. Slavery didn't work. Segregation didn't work. Jim Crow did not work. You need to listen to me. I'm married to a white man. I'm not kissing nobody's ass. I'm just telling you the truth, okay? And they said, we have to, Margaret Sanger, the Negro Project, and also look up eugenics, okay? You have to understand the science of eugenics. Eugenics says black people are born inferior. Like we're scientifically, genetically born inferior. They targeted Jews with eugenics, Hispanics, and Africans with eugenics. You need to listen to me. So in 1960s, we were thriving. There were black doctors, black nurses, black entrepreneurs. There was more land ownership than even now. You have to understand, you got Beyonce, you got Jay-Z, you got the NBA. Even with all this wealth, they were doing more. Okay? So Margaret Sanger said, it's not going to work. We try to bomb their churches. We lynched them. We did segregation. We did slavery. We did Plessy versus Ferguson, Brown versus Wade, Loving versus Virginia. There was like, how can we stop this? And she wrote in the Negro Project, that's the actual papers are available at NYU University in New York, okay? The actual papers, the actual books. So it's not a conspiracy theory. This is fact. She said, we can't let the Negro population know We want to exterminate it. So black women were very conservative. Very. Okay? Hey, immortal. Black women were always conservative, and black men were always traditional. She said, this is the problem. We got to break up the black family unit. So it's not about the crack epidemic. It's not about the 80s. I started to look at the trend literally towards the end of 1960s. It was like a plane crash, and that plane has been crashing. So way before the crack epidemic, way before the 80s, it started to have a massive decline. Okay? So what happened is something black people don't want to accept. She started to introduce birth control. She started to introduce abortion. And she knew it would change the sexual patterns and habits. Before you say, I'm pro-choice, shut your ass up and listen. It's not about being pro-choice. If somebody hyper-targets you and destroys your courtship and date, you got to remember, in the history of humankind, no woman was giving a pill to say, here, you can have sex with anyone. Men weren't told, oh, you don't got to get married. You don't got to court for marriage. Here, go have fun. They purposely put these stuff in black neighborhoods, and that was their intent. And what kills me, she said, I want to eliminate the black population. I want to eliminate the Jewish population. I want to eliminate the Hispanic population. She said this. It's not like I'm guessing. She called them human weeds. She said she wanted to make a thoroughbred human race. That's eugenics. So she was praised by Adolf Hitler. She's the maker of Planned Parenthood. So you might say, oh, I'm just being pro-life. It got nothing to do with that. Listen, mistakes happen. But when you have almost 50% of the abortions being done by 8% of the population, that's not normal. Normal is when I take a bunch of coins, throw it up in the air, and they all land randomly. If I took a bunch of coins right now, and I threw it up in the air, and 77% landed right on my legs, and 25% landed here, you would say, okay, something's wrong, because if you throw something in the air, it should all land randomly if it's acting naturally. And this is what's happening to black women. This is the myth of the angry black woman. This is where you come from. All of a sudden, black women were told, you don't have to get married. Do you know how she did it? The black church. She said in the Negro Project, we can't let the Negro know it's coming from us. Thank you, Ava Rose. She said, we got to use black pastors. And her exact phrase was, and have them preach, preach, preach. Because it was the black pastors back in them days who okayed birth control, who laid the pathway for us getting abortions. And that broke up the black family. It was the sexual patterns. Before you say, shut the fuck up, Khan. No, I will not. 30% of marriages happened because you got pregnant. 30 to 35%. That's a lot of percentage. And if you do the actual percentage breakdown, that's almost a big part of the gap. I'll say it again. A lot of people got married because they got pregnant. And it's not a bad thing. It was tradition. When you're sitting here laughing at me saying this, listen, I know white women who did that. Hispanic, Indian women, Middle Eastern women. You know, you're having a relationship, you get the girl pregnant, you guys are in love, you get married. There are people watching this right now whose parents have been together for 40, 50 years. 40, 50 years, and they got married because they were dating, they were courting, and got pregnant. So even right now, I know white women. I used to work in bridal in Manhattan on 23rd in a high-end area, okay? I used to do HR, hiring, training, recruiting. I used to marry Indian girls, African girls, Middle Eastern girls, Dubai girls, and I saw if they got white women too would come in and say, I need a dress right now. You ever hear people say they eloping? Most elopements are because people get married. But that was stolen from black women and stolen from black men because you were conditioned. You were conditioned not to be conservative. You were conditioned. And this was projected by market. The terrifying thing is she actually came out and said, I'm going to reduce the black family. I'm going to create a cleaner race. She said this. Someone that talks like that, I hate to tell you, cannot be good for you. I know you got, it's not. We have more abortion, more poverty, more broken family, and this is what she predicted in the Negro Project. Because she said, oh, I'm not ashamed to admit that. Listen, my parents were courting. I'm gonna blow my parents up. Hi, mom. Hi, dad. And my dad got my mom pregnant before they got married, but he was gonna marry her anyway. And this past June, they just celebrated their 45th wedding anniversary. And they're very happy. They're very in love. They have 3 kids. I'm one of them. Hi, mom. Hi, dad. Sorry to embarrass you. But it's a normal thing. You're making love to your girlfriend, you're making love to your boyfriend, you're courting, you're happy. You know you can't bounce around and do that because there was no abortion. There was, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was normal. Now, if my mother and father were born in this era where they tell you children are bad, kids are bad, marriage is bad, you can't provide, you can't do that, you can't. I probably wouldn't exist. My mother probably would have got rid of me. My father probably would have ran out. This is conditioning before the crack epidemic of the 80s. This is conditioning before mass incarceration of black men. This is conditioning before the ghettos and the drug infestation. This was starting directly because they saw black people rising to prominence. They saw black excellence. They saw black excellence. Why do you think I've always been pro traditional, pro gender roles? Okay, thank you. uh, yeah. Oh, novelet. Okay. Okay. I'll check it out. And why do you think the Laws of Enchantress program works? Of course, black women are angry. Of course, black women are upset. But she's abused. She's used. Of course, black men have dysfunction. He don't know his greatness. They took off his king chromosome. You really have black men who see when they go into something, they dominate. NBA used to be all white, not anymore. NFL used to be all white, not anymore. Baseball used to be all white, not anymore. Black men really believe they cannot provide. It is the craziest shit I've ever seen. You got Jose and Juan and Julio, can't speak English, got 3 teeth in his mouth, working 2 or 3 jobs, and he is actually surpassing you in economic wealth. You have been so brainwashed. And they need you to stay that way. They need you to disrespect your women, call them hoes, call them whores. They need you not to understand your role is to lead, provide, and protect. Anybody here seen Titanic? Remember the captain? He just stood in the stern. He knew he was going to die. Because if you're a king, if you're a captain, you go down with the ship. You can't complain about your community, complain about your women, complain about the situation, and say, "Well, I'm a king." You're not a king. You can only you're not only a king when you're kinging. Listen, I know the greatness of black men. My father is a great black man. He is my role model. My father worked, provided. My mother was a domestic goddess. You can't tell me what a black man can't do. My brother's a great black man, like amazing black men I've been blessed with. But the thing is that because they come from Jamaica, they were not exposed to the hyper conditioning that you were exposed to. And it's true. My father doesn't have his king chromosome deactivated. A lot of black men have their king chromosome deactivated, and it's intentional because you're not, as a woman, you can't thrive if a big chunk of your male demographic hates you. And this is what they wanted. As a black woman, you can't survive. And it's not even Ava Rose. Hey, Sophia, it's not even about slavery. You guys don't even know you don't even know your history. Go to the Smithsonian. Go to the African American Museum. The black man used to marry you in slavery. The black man cannot tell me he has more problems than being a slave. The black man used to go and marry you and jump you over the broom at the threat of death, at the threat of castration. Do you know how many slave uprisings happened because of black men, because they were with their family? You got to know your history, people. You cannot let black women continue to trauma bond you, and you cannot keep giving your energy to lost black men who's had their king chromosome turned off. Morgan, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. You say we were enslaved by our own, Morgan. Everybody was bomba clot enslaved. Greek enslaved Roman, Persian enslaved Arab. Don't let them come and tell you that it was everybody upon the earth enslaved, everybody bomba clot. Don't let them come here and tell you that only black men enslave black men. What a Ross clot is that? Have you not read the Persian and the Mesopotamian? Have you not heard? Have you not seen the Holocaust and the Jews and the concentration camps? Slavery. Have you not seen ancient Rome? Ancient Rome had slavery forever until it fell. All major civilizations had slavery, sold slaves, based on indentured servitude, based on prisoners of war, based on war, based who lost wars, white, Asian, Chinese, Japanese, they all enslaved their own people. All of them. All of them. And only the most savage came on top. You don't know who Stalin is? You don't know who Genghis Khan is? You need to read your history. You need to read your history. Because even in slavery, the black man revolted. There were hundreds of plantation revolts. There were hundreds of revolts and plantations in the Caribbean. Look up Nanny, look up Queen Nanny of the Moors in Jamaica. They couldn't control her ass, and she was a woman. Sometimes they captured warring tribes and not realizing they captured an African general or an African, a war person. And they would actually have problems immobilizing them because these were military African men who said, I'd rather die. Don't let them tell you, well, you enslave your own. Everybody. The British people killed 12 million Irish people. You ever heard of the potato famine? British people killed 12 million Irish people. It's like, me not feed you no bomba clot potato. You for starve, for starve. Please. Don't get me started. They all did it. But what I'm telling you right now, the reason why the black woman is angry, she's not angry. To me, angry is when you walk around with an attitude for no reason. To me, angry is when you walk around with a chip on your shoulder for no reason. I call that a Karen. Karens, the Karens calling the police on everybody, that's angry. She's angry, but because she got light complexion, pretty eyes, and light hair, she gets to go away with it. I don't know what her problem is, what she's so angry, why she calling police every 5 seconds. The Karens are angry, but white women have been allowed to be victims. White women are empowered to be vulnerable. They're empowered to be soft. They are empowered to be a victim, even when they're not a victim. They have totally capitalized and mastered the role of playing victim. Let me talk to you for a second. So black women and black men don't know the statistics. You don't know you're dying in childbirth 10 times more. You don't know you're aging, accelerating because of hyper stress. You don't know that you're not being provided for. You're not being protected. You don't know. And no, Morgan, that's not true. I don't know who's telling you this stuff. That's not true. The Romans had slaves for thousands of years. The Arabs, the Persians had slaves for thousands of years. Do not listen to this slant history. Nobody did the slave trade more than that is not true. Who do you think built the Colosseums? Who do you think were in the Colosseums being used alive for human entertainment, being eaten by lions, fighting bulls, fighting wild tigers? You have to understand, life back then was brutal. If you were in ancient Rome or ancient Italy or ancient Greece or ancient Mesopotamia or ancient Persia, if you got caught doing a crime, you became a slave. If you are a POW, prisoner of war, you became a slave. If you owed money to the bank in ancient Roman European times and you could not pay off your debt, you became a slave. If you did any type of heresy, blasphemy, you became a slave. Slavery was very profitable for all these organizations. It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. That the slave, it was profitable. Yes, Africans had slaves, but Europeans had slaves before Africans. They had slaves so much they came to Africa looking for slaves. You think slavery was new to them when they came to Africa? No, they were like, yeah, we need some more. But my whole purpose in telling you this is that the black woman is the most underrepresented. And the reason why it's necessary to know is so we know how to go. I want solutions for black women. I want healing for black women. I want black men and black women to make up this rift. Everybody's not going to come to the table. You're going to have the black men who are making money off of trauma. You're going to have the black women making money off of drama. Everybody's not going to come to the table. But I want to tell you something terrifying. My Jewish people, they're only less than 1%. They're 0.2 of the world's population. And they have more than half of the wealth on this planet. And that's a fact. Forbes magazine said almost half of all the world's billionaires are Jewish. And they're not even a full 1%. You don't need the majority to make majority rule. You don't need the majority. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Jewish people are less than 1% of the earth's population. God bless them. I love them. I have no problem with them. I got a book. I don't know where I put it. Let me see if I can find it. It's a book called Jewish Wealth, and it was written by a Jewish man. Let me get it. And he actually made this book. I don't know if you guys can see. It says the Jewish, can you guys see the Jewish phenomenon? Okay? And it talks about the 7 keys to enduring wealth. So I'm not here telling you crap because I just want to, whatever. I have integrity. And what I'm trying to tell you is that the Jewish people are not even 1% of the world's population. If you can get 1% of black people to do what they're doing, game over. If you can get 2% of black people to do what they're doing, game over. They have investments in the media, investments in the NBA, investments in the NHL, investments in music, investments on Wall Street, hedge funds, investment firms, venture capitalists. This guy is a Jewish, well-respected author, and he said Jews make up only 2% of the U.S. population, yet 45% of them are Forbes' 40 richest Americans. 400 richest Americans, the 400 richest Americans are Jewish. 1/3 of American millionaires are Jewish. The percentage of Jewish households with incomes greater than 50,000 is double that of non-Jews. Okay, so basically, 40% of partners in leading New York and Washington, D.C. law firms are Jewish. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? What I'm trying to tell you, my beautiful sister Morgan, this is what they're scared of. If they can be less than 1% of the world's population, but if you get 1% of your people to be cohesive, if you get 1% of your people to be compliant, this is what happens. This is what happens. So imagine if 10% of black people are compliant. Imagine if 5%. It's an economic win. And this is why the lies and the propaganda are so strong. But the beauty of the healing for the black man and the black woman is simplistic. It's not complicated. The black man has to take his role. He has to turn on his king chromosome. He has to adhere to constructive faith. You know why Jews are so powerful? Because they have a constructive, cohesive faith. You got too much black churches. You got the church of 4 chicken wings and pork fried rice. You got the church of shrimp and lo mein. They never network. They don't put the money together. Everybody trying to make their own money. Every pastor want to be a millionaire. If you were to actually have a cohesive religious unit like Muslims and Hindus and Jewish, that would really set the tone. It'll be a uniform of rules. You got the church of 4 chicken wings and pork fried rice, not teaching men to provide. You got the church of shrimp lo mein and duck sauce, not teaching men to honor their wives, treat their wives right. This is their religious institution is politically, economically, and financially powerful. And what you don't understand, they're doing all of this with less than 1% of the earth's population. Less than 1% of the Earth's population. So imagine if 5% of African Americans did that. We don't need all. Stop worrying about the crazy fringes of social media. Stop responding to black men with 5 subscribers. Stop listening to black women who don't show their face and talk to you from the shadows. This is real life. Corona came to teach you a lesson. You saw how real it got when jobs closed down. You saw how real it got when you couldn't go to work. You saw how real it got when you couldn't make money. You saw how real it got when you were by yourself. It's not sustainable. God is speaking to you. And all them people telling my young black sisters to escort, Splendor baby, sugar baby. You can't sugar with no daddies. You couldn't get to that old crusty crustacean and you had to do crazy stuff. You was in my inbox asking for money. Exactly. Look, this is less than 2%, less than 1%. And they're not playing games. So when I read this whole book, and I want to show you the most important thing, okay? I actually highlighted it. I know you guys can't see the words, but I want to read this to you. And this is why the angry black woman is a myth. A woman needs to have protection. A woman needs to have guidance. A woman needs love, compassion, and strength. The Bible says it. The Torah says it. The Quran says it. Don't listen to these 4 chicken wings talk about submission. The Bible says your man's supposed to die for you, like Christ died. The Bible says your man's supposed to take care of you. So a lot of these girls on here talk about witchcraft, wizards, and warlocks. You're not going to marry Doctor Strange. You're not going to marry Iron Man. Listen to me, sisters. You're not going to marry Thanos. You're not getting the Infinity Gauntlet. Sit your witch ass down. Because real life, the top 3 financial people in the world are Jewish faith, then the Hindu faith, then the Christians who are calling themselves Episcopalians. Those are the richest demographics on this planet. And you got people telling you, doing ooga booga booga booga. I'm not talking about the Afrocentric Yoruba. That's your African heritage. God bless you. But you need to use common sense. Unless you're planning on marrying a Yoruba prince or a Nigerian prince, then we can talk about that in the next video. But the black woman is angry because she's hurt. The black woman is angry because you're supposed to, let me read this to you. It says, the beginning to wealth, the most important thing Jewish people said is build your child's self-esteem. So let me talk about that for a second. This is why stay-at-home moms are so high in middle class to upper middle class demographics. A mother's role to nurture, a mother's role to lead, a mother's role to guide a child is nothing to mess around with. But if you're working her like a horse, if she cannot be, if she doesn't feel good about herself, if she can't take care of herself, if she can't love herself, if she can't do for herself because the man refuses to, she cannot pass on what she doesn't have. So if she's stressed out, she gonna raise that child in stress. If she has despair, if she doesn't feel safe, if she doesn't feel covered, she gonna pass that on to the child. So the first thing in wealth, they said, build your child's self-esteem. So if the mother is abused, if the mother is used, if she is not married, it's a very challenging job for her to pass on healthy self-esteem. If she do not love herself, if she do not value herself, the black woman has every right to be angry, but it's not anger. If you punch me in the eye and I flinch, am I flinching? No, the black woman's not angry. The black woman is reacting. She's reacting to being abandoned. And black men need to understand our destinies are tied. I don't care how many white women you marry or light-skinned biracial. You see these cops are pulling people out the car and beating people's asses. They don't care if you got a good credit score. They don't care if you're dating a Karen. They don't care if you play for the NBA, NHL. We are tied together. A nation cannot rise higher than its woman. Farrakhan said this. A nation cannot be alone without its woman. It's the biggest brainwash, and it's working, and it's destroying you. The next one, it says, build the ability to deter gratification. Choose the best education. So create education expertise. Teach your family history. Teach about your family's ancestral homeland. If your family has many branches, try to concentrate on one or two. Be prevalent with the identity. Give your children an international view. Use a global map to show their place in the world. Make them feel like it belongs. For Jews, one of the most profound cultural experiences is visiting Israel, much like Muslims who make their pilgrim to Mecca. Having a background and a heritage helps immunize children from negative influences. Those who believe they live in a huge, chaotic world where they have no real place or purpose tend to be less focused and more susceptible to distractions. So and I'm not mad at working moms. I want this to be getting around. It's because you have no choice. You're living in a community that has been brainwashed about the power of a domestic goddess. It's not about sweeping floors and walking around. Um, go to go to the laws of Enchantress. Any of my members are on? Could you give coffee? It's I have a page on Facebook. You can contact me through Connie Loren Comer and Connie Loren Comer because I'm married now. Comer, Connie Connie, Loren Loren. I'm on Facebook. My program is called The Laws of Enchantress. Please subscribe to the other channel as well. And this is I always come with some books and knowledge. The black woman's not angry, she's reacting. Men are proactive, women are reactive. That's the way we're wired. But they know that if I turn off this black man's king chromosome, he's not going to provide, he's not going to lead, he's not going to do traditional gender roles. It's going to handicap him more than anything. If a black man gets wealth, but he got 12 kids like Lil Wayne, that's handicapping him. If a black man gets wealth, but he doesn't instill a sense of pride and integrity in their women, that's handicapping him. A lot of black men don't understand, because I see it, they look at you through the eyes of your women. And you have to understand, if you are the captain, if you are the king, if you are the emperor, you have to act like you are in charge. Do you understand, black people? I want you guys to understand. Jewish people are doing this with less than 1% of the world's population. They have been persecuted. 60% of them were killed off during the Holocaust. 60%. Banks would not loan to them. Businesses would not give them money. 60%. When Margaret Sanger went to the synagogues and she tried to push her birth control, when Margaret Sanger, the woman who made Planned Parenthood, she went to the synagogues, she went to the rabbis, and she tried to do her extermination. They said to get the F up out of here. They kicked her out and they told her, you're a witch, never come back. But the black church got seduced. The black church, they were insecure. They told black women, you need family planning. They told black women, you need birth control. And I'm not against these things. I'm Catholic. I don't use them. But what it did was take away your natural hormonal instincts to be selective of the man you sleep with. Because you knew back then, if I have sex, I'm going to get pregnant. And men respected that. Why do you think men don't care? Men expect you to stay infertile indefinitely. Why do you think marriage takes so long? Because you're taking artificial enhancers to keep yourself in a perpetual state of infertility. You getting pregnant is part of the process of getting married. That's just how it is for generations. But you had this Margaret Sanger woman come across and tell you that you need it. You need abortion. You need a pill. You need it. In 1960, your out of wedlock rate was only 22%. And it didn't even matter because after the child was born, most of them got married. They had a very high marriage rate. Now with abortion and birth control, your out of wedlock rate is 77%. You're not angry. Do you understand? Does everybody here understand math? I can't be the only person. That means you have less than a 25% chance if you date black men to get married. Less than 25%. And just because I'm married to a white man doesn't mean I don't want my sisters and my brothers to heal. I'm not angry at black men. I want the I can easily make money if I came on this channel and told you black men are bad, worship white men. I'm not going to do that because no, it's not true. First of all, it's not true. You know how much money I can make if I follow I hate this and I hate that? Thank you, Sophia. I mean, you got women on this channel, not mine, but on YouTube, telling black women marriage is a fairy tale, marriage is fake, marriage is a fraud. I'm a fraud. But they bring sex workers to tell you to sell your sacred womb. They bring escorts to tell you that's all your value. And it's the biggest crime in history. You are a walking, talking goddess. You are the most imitated woman on the planet. People are getting cancer to get a fraction of your melanin. You're the most disrespected, the most neglected, even by other black women. Because any black woman telling you that you can't get married, but we got married during slavery, any black woman telling you you can't get married, but you were getting married in the 60s when they had segregation, when they had dogs and hoses and the KKK and church bombings, you had the highest marriages in the 60s and successful too. Let me tell you, there's a lot of people out there who do not care about you. They put this channel on, they make money, they get you angry, they tell you don't get married, marriage is bad. What's the alternative? Lifelong prostitution. They don't do research, they don't talk to psychologists, they don't talk to therapists, they don't work with behavioral scientists. They come here and they tell you this to get you angry. And they're destroying black people. My children will be black. My husband is white, but guess what? They will be black. You can say biracial till your eyes pop out, but they kicked out Meghan Markle's high yellow, high white behind. I'm in this country. They kicked her out. They didn't want her here. They look at her and they see, I don't want to say it. Yes, her light skin is help her to get to a certain level. Yes, her just a touch of black appearance made it possible for Prince Harry to marry her. But at a certain level, those who are like that will kick them out. Thank you, Ava. Those who are like that will kick them out. The fact is, marriage is an economic builder. The fact is, Jews, okay, Jews have the lowest divorce rate. Jews don't get divorced. You know why? They raise their people from birth to get married. They teach the woman how to be a wife, they teach the man how to be a man, and that's the end of that. We don't have that in the black church. Not anymore. I don't mean to laugh. I'm just laughing because we like to be entertained too much. We want to have a concert. You know, it's like a stadium. It looks like a freaking Backstreet Boys concert. It looks like Britney Spears concert. Listen, I love gospel music, but I became Catholic when I was 32. And the reason I became Catholic is, number one, I did not see the traditional family structure I grew up with in the black churches. They weren't teaching men to provide. They weren't teaching men to protect. They weren't teaching men to lead. And there was not no men going there anyway. And the pastors and the priests in the black community weren't out there lobbying to black men. They were not. And I decided, because of personal reasons, to do like an own expedition. And I realized the Catholic Church was huge on mothers, huge on marriage, huge on you being a domestic goddess, huge on men providing, protecting, and leading. I'm all about black women becoming Catholic. I don't hide it no more. I used to be shy, but I said, listen, if you want a religion that says being a mother is sacred, if you want a religion that honors you and loves you, you see how we Hail Mary, we love that role of a traditional wife and woman. And I encourage you to look at other religions. If you want to look at Judaism or Hinduism, Muslim, just for educational purposes at least, and see how other women are treated. Of course the black woman's going to be angry. Of course you're going to be angry. And to me, I want you to listen to me clearly. It's not anger. If I took my fist and punched everybody on this live in the stomach and you reacted, are you just reacting? No, I hit you. You're reacting to pain. You're reacting to trauma. Black women are reactive. This is our DNA. Exactly. Look at Jamal Bryant. Look at that. Black women are, you have to understand. And it's programmed to be this way. Why should you be happy if 77% of you are having babies out of wedlock? Why should you be happy if only 23% of you are getting married? On top of that, 23% getting married, you have a divorce rate 3 times higher. Why should you be happy? That's up to, listen, you know, men, I want to talk about the religion thing because there's a lot of toxicity in the black community about Christianity and white man religion, but then they tell you to go have sex with the white man. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like the white man is bad, the Christianity is for white people, white this. Then when you go to level up groups, the white man is the God, and you gotta get a white man and white man. And I have a white man. I'm saying this, and it's the sickness. It's the most crazy shit. It's like a bipolar person. You know, one person's telling you the Christianity is bad. You gotta be white. Get yourself an old white man. It doesn't make sense. First of all, educate yourself, my sisters. It's a quarantine. All world religions came from Africa. We are not stupid. All world religions came from Africa. Hinduism, Africa. Muslim, Africa. Christianity, Africa. Use your common sense. The oldest Jews in the world are African Ethiopian before Arabs got there, before Muslims got there. Use your common sense, okay? So if the oldest Jews in the world were black, then Jesus Christ probably was black. The oldest Bible, thank you, Morgan, was found in Africa 1,000 years before slavery. When the white man came to Africa to colonize it, they were shocked to see churches carved into stones. They were shocked to see Jesus, the image of Christ, on the coins. They were shocked to see that Somalia was the first Christian state in the world. How many times are you going to let people rob and steal knowledge from you? You really think the first Jews look like that? The first Jews were not white. Lord have mercy. And the reason why this is important is because this is wealth. This is culture. This is success. There's no demographic on God's green earth that has wealth, that has prosperity, that has abundance without a structured, cohesive religion. And that's why they attacked the black people in the black church. Read the Negro Project. When Margaret Sanger said, shit, we put them in slavery, we bombed their churches, we lynched them, we KKK, we put segregation laws, they were pissed. They knocked down Love and Verse, Virginia, 1967. They were pissed. They said, what the hell can we do? They saw black people getting massive socioeconomic wealth in the 60s, higher than any time period, going into the middle class, going into advanced careers. They said, no, we got to stop this. If you read the Negro Project, they said we have to infiltrate the black church. We got to use the black pastors so the black people will not be suspicious of us. These are actual words I am quoting. She said we cannot allow the Negro to know we want to exterminate the black race. She was a eugenics. She believed in a pure, superior race. And she did this. And she did this. And it's so sad because I'm still black. My father is black. My brother is black. My nephew is black. My great nephew is black. And I love my family. My children will always have half my DNA, no matter what I do. And I don't want to be like Stacey Dash, and when I get caught out there looking stupid, I will always tell you, I want us to heal. I want us to transcend. I want us to do better. I want black women to stop being abused, stop being used, stop being sexualized. I want black women to stop. And I want black men to understand and trigger their king chromosome and understand they have immense power to lead, build, and provide. And like I said, it doesn't have to be all black men. If you got 2% black women and 2% black men, you can take over the planet. Look what they're doing with less than 2% of their population. And when you open the book, the first thing it says, teach the children, raise the children. That's the first thing it says. Teach the children, raise the children, adorn the children, guide the children, self-esteem in the children, self-confidence in the children. Because that's the foundation. That's the foundation. There is no nation on God's green earth that has wealth, abundance, peace, tranquility, happy homes, healthy families, loving children without a cohesive religion. And it's not about you, it's the men that need it more than you. You see all the black women in church clapping? Women are not difficult in that way. It's the men who need to be there to learn to lead. It's the men who need to be there to learn how to love you, protect you, and take care of you. It's the men who need to lead to learn how to do entrepreneurship and build up their communities and diversify their income. Nobody wants them to break their back and die in two trying to provide, but you have to learn. I was looking at one of these, I can't say the word, but churches. Okay? Help me out here. Churches. And they had my boy, that financial wizard, I forgot his name. Not Hogan, but it's a okay, thank you. He's one of the most famous financial gurus. Dave Ramsey. I'm not lying to you, okay? Listen, I'm not lying to you. Dave Ramsey was in these churches. Dave Ramsey was in these churches. And he was talking about finances. He was talking about bankruptcy. He was educating these people. Educating them. He was educating these people. So what I want to say to you as a black woman, and if you're a black man listening, yeah, Financial Peace University. I actually bought it. He talked about it so much. It's pretty good. It's good for people trying to get out of debt and stuff like that. But it's good knowledge to have. It's good knowledge to have. And I want to say this. What you have to understand, there's no demographic on the planet that has success and harmony, absence of faith. That's why Jewish people are so cohesive. Hindu people are so cohesive. Muslim people are so cohesive. And when you talk about the Christian faith was 1,000 years before slavery. Don't let anybody hear you say that. Okay? 1,000 years before slavery. And that's a fact. Hindus, Jewish, Muslim. And if you don't like me talking about faith, you can get off my channel. There's 1,000 YouTube channels. Goodbye. Because I'm not going to lie to black women. If black women can sit up on YouTube and push sex work, if black women can sit up on YouTube and push escorting, if black women can sit up on YouTube and tell you to do sex video work, if black women can sit up on YouTube and tell you marriage is a fairy tale, if black women can sit up on here and tell you not to get married, not to have kids, to be angry, then I can tell you the truth that the top richest people on this earth, first is the Jewish people. Second is the Hindu people. Then third are Episcopalian Christians and other sectors of Christians. I'm not telling you to do anything. If you're sensitive to religion, get off. And I'm done, because this is 2020 Connie. Because I don't go on sugar baby channels. I don't go on sex worker channels. I don't go on escort channels. I don't go on witchcraft channels. There are people telling y'all to do witchcraft, do dark magic, dark wisdom. Guess what? It is a free country. You choose where you want to be. But I'm talking to the black woman who wants to know facts. I'm talking to the black woman who wants to know truth. I'm not making up statistics. When you show me a Yoruba rich town, when you start showing me the stuff they're teaching you, bringing wealth and prosperity, then I be quiet. Because even girls that practice that stuff, most of the time, their husbands are some type of cohesive religion. And I'm telling you how they infiltrated the black church. I'm telling you how they destroyed the black family. I'm telling you how Margaret Sanger used the black preachers. I am telling you. And slavery did not start Christianity. Slavery did not start Judaism. Slavery didn't start Muslim. Slavery was always around. It's a profitable thing. That's what they do. It's evil because it's money. It's attached. But I'm not here. Like I said, I'm not going to tolerate people this year in 2020. Because when y'all want to talk about witchcraft and wizards and warlocks and thanos, I'm mind my business. When y'all want to talk about black women escorting, black women selling their ass, black women having splendor daddies, I mind my business. You will never catch me on someone's channel. I'm telling you the truth and the wisdom because I care about black people. When y'all talk about I hate black men, you never see me on them channels because I dip out. It's not for me. When y'all talk about marriage is a fairy tale and marriage is a fraud, I don't come on them channels. Let me have my channel because I'm here to help black women. If you're sensitive to religion, then don't be here. Because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that selling your ass is going to give you money. Selling your ass, that's not for me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Jewish people don't have wealth. Or Hindu people don't have wealth. Or Muslim people don't have wealth. Or Episcopalian people don't have wealth. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you how the black church was destroyed, which affected the black woman and how she's being treated and why she can't get married and why the black man can't lead, the black man can't provide, the black man don't think he could do this and that. That was all established through the black church when Margaret Sanger targeted it with black preachers. Read the Negro Project. Haven't you wondered how black people are so Christian, but they never vote against abortion? They're so Christian, they never vote against birth control. They're the only demographic that does that. Catholics no, Muslims no, Hindus no, Buddhists no, Episcopalians no, Lutherans no, Orthodox Christians no. Only the black Christians are very lukewarm on abortion. They're the only segment of Christians that react that way. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't sit here and lie to you because I love black women too much and I love black people too much. And I love my black father and my black brother. And if you continue to do this, it's not going to work because I'm very respectful. I'm very respectful. I don't go on nobody else's page. If y'all want to talk about sugaring, escorting, sexing, I fall back. I never go. People be tagging me. I said, that's not for me. That's not the world that I'm in. That's not what I want for you. I've lived enough. I've been working in domestic shelters. I've had friends who got HIV. I had friends that lost their lives from abuse. This is very serious stuff. And we have to respect each other. Like, I don't go, when they talking about being a hoe or being I don't go on those pages because guess what? It's a free world. Let them stay in their lane. Let them do what they want to do. You'll never catch me. You'll never catch me. You will never catch me. And that's because they're threatened. I'm not threatened. You could talk about pimping, you'll never catch me. Oh my God. That's just, YouTube got over 1 billion channels. Find one that works for you. I'm about actually healing black women, empowering black women. You know, but what's going on? Oh, I can't. Okay, thank you, madam. But it's because I've cried with black women. I've cried. I've seen black women who got raped. I've seen a black woman who had her face beaten so bad that I was trying to stitch the bone together. I was trying to like stitch her face together. Her whole top thing got split open. I've seen what you not believing in yourself can do. You don't have to be like I don't care what religion black women do. I care what your men do. Because men need training, men need guidance, men need discipline. I don't care if you want to fly on a broomstick, that's up to you. But you need to get your shit together. You gotta have your outside face and your inside face. Don't forget I'm Jamaican. That's all I'm gonna say. You gotta have your outside face and your inside face. When you're out there courting, looking for a good man, I don't care what Ava does or any. I don't care what you guys do. You're not the problem. You're not the problem. The men need discipline. The men need the religion, not you. Men need guidance. Men need, and men will tell you, I grew up without my dad and I had no male. They'll actually tell you what the problem is. It's not you. It's the men. Because women are receptive to a good man. Women are receptive to a man who wants to love them, who respects them, who inspires them, who empowers them. Women are receptive. You're literally wired in your DNA for those types of characters. The reason why things get off is when you get abused, when you get used, when you have. Do you know how many women come to my Laws of Enchantress program? And I have on a rosary. You know how many women come? I swear to God, and tell me they can't get married, nobody want them, they got too many children, they're overweight, they got divorced. And I'm like, but who told you this? Like, where's this coming from? Have men said these things to you out of your mouth? And most of the time, it's our negativity. It's the negative information we take in. And I'm not saying you got to live in a box and not face reality, but you got to balance your shit, sisters. You can't sit down and take all negativity, toxicity. I see black women who got kids in their 40s getting married to good men. I see black women who are not a size zero getting married to good men. And the secret is, he don't got to be a millionaire. The basic average guy, not the Dusties, the Ashies, or Crunchy Larrys, or the Ashy Antoines. But if you look at the Pew Research, the majority of men want to take care of their woman. It's up to you to get yourself out of those negative spaces. It's up to you to connect to the universe. It's up to you to make that your focus and make that your drive. If you want to lose weight, you got to focus on it, right? If you want to drive a car, you got to practice. If you want a healthy marriage, because marriage is not a fairy tale. Even fairy tales are not fair. Let me tell you about fairy tales for a second. Because this is funny to me. Because that's an attack I get. That marriage is not a fairy tale. But not even fairy tales are a fairy tale. Have you not watched Beauty and the Beast? Who here has seen Beauty and the Beast? I love it. That's a fairy tale. Even in the fairy tale, she had to fall in love with him when he was a raggedy ass beast. Even in Disney's Beauty and the Beast, she had to fall in love with him when he was all furry and shit. Okay? And then the spell broke. She had to overcome adversity. Anybody watch Cinderella? If you watch the very beginning, watch it. It says Cinderella was abused by her stepson. She was abused. She dressed in rags. She didn't bathe. They abused her. They used her. And she had to keep positive in the worst of situations. And she had to sew her own dress. Every fairy tale, Ariel lost her voice with Ursula. Sleeping Beauty, the whole damn place went to sleep and the prince had to slay the dragon. Even in fairy tales, you have to overcome. Even in fairy tales, there's adversity. There's always a hitch, a bump, and that's real freaking life. So what you have to do, okay? What you have to do is be proactive. I coach with Jewish women. Being a housewife, being a wife, that's a career in itself. Being a mother, that's a career in itself. And it takes proactive measures. You're right. You got to prepare. And that's what we do in Laws of Enchantress. That's why I'm actually seeking to get my therapy license. I'm going to get my therapy license because I really want to help the couples that I help to get married. I coach couples all the time. I am even coaching a few black men because they're like, you know what, you're right. I want to be a provider. I want to be a boss. But they have terrorized black men so bad mentally that they can't provide, they can't protect, they can't lead. They put it in their head, and it's bull. You got Jose coming from Dominican Republic opening a bodega. You got Juan coming from Colombia opening a Colombian restaurant. It is the biggest hoax they've ever done. Let me tell you something, black women. This is why I love black women. This is why I want you to get married. I'm so happy right now. I don't want to get emotional, but I am so happy. And every black woman deserves to be happy. Whether it's a good black man like my father, a good black man like my brother, a good black man like my nephew, whether it's white, Indian, Hispanic, every black woman deserves to be happy. You don't have to settle. You don't have to be with a rich man who spits on you. You don't have to be with an ashy who makes you work 80 hours. Black women, there's nothing that you put your mind to that you will not succeed at. You need to understand this. You are limitless. We're doing computer computations in hidden figures when they had segregation, when black women couldn't get proper education. Y'all were turning into human computers. You are doing amazing things, reaching for the stars. You understand black girl magic is real. You don't have to settle. You don't have to. And you can have ups and downs in your relationship, but at the end of the day, I know my husband Jason would die for me, fight for me, cry for me, everything for me. And you deserve that passion. You deserve that love. And stop letting negative people who have committed themselves to anger, committed themselves to trauma, committed themselves to misery, make you angry for the rest of your life. I've been hurt. I've been played. Shit, I've been dragged. I get dragged now. But I don't really care. Because I have the love of my family, the love of my father, and most of all, the love of my husband. And every black woman listening to this, you're not angry, you are reacting. You're not angry, you're abused. And black men, you gotta do better. You will never rise higher than your woman. I don't care how much money you get, how much degrees you get. I don't care who you marry. You will always be seen as a reflection of the woman of your society, your mothers, your sisters, your nieces, your aunts, your grandmothers. And you gotta build a community. Doesn't matter who you marry. Doesn't matter. I married a white man, but I still care about the black community because I'm still part of the black community. And I always will be, whether I deny it like Stacey Dash or whether I scorn it. I scorn it like Candace Owens. It doesn't matter. She can marry 10 British men. She's always going to be seen by certain people the way that she looks, black. And she going to get her awakening just like Stacey Dash got her awakening and she got canceled. Because I'm telling you, black women, when you are loved, when you are adored, when you are protected, when you are respected, you turn into such an amazing creature. You turn into like a goddess. When you are loved. And the thing is that I know we're concerned about money, but when you are loved, when you are cared for, when you are adored, that brings prosperity vibrations. When you feel good and the man feel good, abundance. Well, I'm not crazy about Candace Owens, so I'm a little bit older, so I can see the path she's taken. But you don't have to deny one. We can do everything. I'm here in England. I'm here to tell you racism is real, discrimination is real, police brutality is real. But we can also talk about the problems in the black community that disproportionately affect black women. You don't have to do one or the other. Remember, I'm married to a white guy. When he hears Candace Owens talking like that, it's crazy. You know Henry Cavill, the fine-ass man who plays... Do you know Henry? You know Henry Cavill, the fine-ass British guy who plays Superman? Oh my God, I want my husband to hear me, but damn, he's fine. He was speaking out. He was talking about it, saying that's crazy to him. And he's a white man, Great Britain. And he's fine as hell. So yeah, you have to understand there is a king chromosome that's been turned off. They have taught the black man to be selfish. They have taught the black man to hate the black woman. Yeah, when he started saying that's not cool, he was like, that's not cool. And I'm like, he's a fine white man, so I'm going to take that one. Because you have to understand, she's young. and she thinks that I can separate myself. If I, Stacy Dash did the same thing, and she burnt and she crashed. Her husband ended up calling the cops on her. No respect for her. She's like 5 feet, 100 pounds. Her husband said he was abusing her. It was false abuse charges, but her whole career got messed up. She was running for office. Now I heard she don't even got $50,000 in her account. She's trying to come back to BET. She's trying to come back to Comet. Her whole life is ruined, and all because she went too extreme. She was on that conservative trip for a while, and then her husband disrespected her. I said, yeah, because you have nobody on your back. You have no community, no black women, no black sisters. You made yourself vulnerable. So yeah, he embarrassed her, humiliated her, put her in jail. You can find her mugshot. Okay? So you have to be careful with what you do and what you say, because it could come back to you. I'm not perfect. Nobody here is perfect. But my passion is to make your life better. Now, the Laws of Enchantress program, we work on facts, we work on figures. And I'm proud to say over 20 women have gotten married, 19 engaged. One of my brides got married today. And so I think some of us saw the live stream, and it's life changing. God bless everybody. It's life changing. And as a wife, I can honestly tell you, it's not just about getting married. It's about building a life together. It's about mental wellness. It's about mental stability. It's about financial security. It's about building generational wealth and legacy. No matter what happens, you're building, you're carrying on your heritage, your culture. And it's stuff that you got to prepare for. You can't just fall into it. I've been coaching for over 15 years. I've coached in person as an HR director. I did a lot of volunteer work with African American women because I saw the special things out there. So I really want you as a black woman to know that, you can have it. You can do it. My program is only $199. It's an actual program, and you get access to over 16 pages, subgroups. And I have a free page called The Laws of Enchantress, where you can actually go in the page and see real women who've used my program, got their confidence back, got their self-love back, got their self-care back. They lost weight. They lost 100 pounds. We talk about fitness. I have a nutrition expert who is actually holistic. She's licensed. She works with me. She helps black women lose weight. I got people who got image consultants. We do the real work. And I want to say something really personal, and I hope it doesn't offend people. I used to be in sugar baby groups until I got kicked out, because I like to watch and learn and just observe. And there were so many, and I'm not gay, but some of you, wow, some of you black women, you look like a doll. Like you had perfect skin, perfect hair, perfect size. It was just flooded with drop dead gorgeous black women. I was like, where's the engagements? Where's the wedding rings? Like, damn, I'm about to give you my ring. These women were gorgeous. So take a bow out. You take a bow. You look amazing. But then I realized, why is there no marriages? Why is there no engagements? Yeah, black women are beautiful. Ebony rich. That's what I call my dark-skinned sisters. Just drop dead gorgeous. Curves. I was like, what's going on? Why aren't you guys getting married? Oh, marriage is not the goal. That's a lie. Because if I was sugaring and I got me some older guy, 20 years older, and he's a millionaire, I would sew my panani to his leg. Because I would like, what? But the thing is that's how important your spirit and your soul is. That's how important. Cam. Well, Cam, I just tell black women to open their options. And you don't understand. Let me tell you something. If you guys came to my program and you use Laws of Enchantress with the way you look, because I keep it real, there's levels to your appearances. I'm a regular black girl. I'm not going to get no millionaire guy. My husband is worth $1 million in my eyes. He takes care of me. He provides. I've been living in this country. I haven't been working since October. He still gets my hair done in the quarantine. He gives me pocket money. My rent is paid. My mortgage back home is paid. He takes care of me. I have no problem. I'm able to save and keep my money for myself. We're practicing FIRE, financial independence, retirement early. I'm excited about him. He wants to go into politics. I'm really excited about our future and our life. So God bless us. And thank you to everyone who supported us. But I don't look like some of y'all. Some of y'all look bad as hell. And if I had, what? Like, I don't know what's going on in these sugar groups. I'm not trying to steal customers, but if you want to have a healthy, happy marriage, you got to prepare. You got to learn. If you want to have a healthy marriage, you got to love yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You got to honor, and you have to find your spirit. You have to find your purpose. You have to find your meaning. And that's why we're so angry. And I noticed these women were so beautiful, but they're so catty and they're so nasty. And it's because what they're doing is actually very masculine. It's kind of predatory. Okay? Yeah, they're very, listen, if I look like that, I have 5 Jasons. I will have 4 Jasons. But the reason why they're angry, the reason why they're hateful is because they have turned their trauma into drama and they're not healed. They're not healed. And I wish you can see the truth as I see it. When you love yourself and you honor yourself and you believe in yourself and you learn the psychology of self-love, you learn the psychology of self-care, you learn it and you go step by step. You fail, you get back up. You learn it. You become a different woman. You could be basic, but if your confidence is a 10, you could win. I'm not ashamed to say my husband is 12 years younger than me. I had no idea when we started dating. And I was like, ew, I don't date younger guys. I'm like, oh, that's too young. But he was ready to provide. He was ready to have his own place. He had his own house. He had several jobs, investments. He was like, listen, that's my culture. I will take care of you. That's my culture. I'm here to provide for you. And Black women, you have a lot of options. You could date younger men like Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa. You could date older men, but the mindset of self-love. You got to take care of yourself first. You got to love yourself first. You got to respect. And the most important thing, my sisters, you got to believe that you can achieve. Especially my ebony rich, especially my dark skin, my melanin blessed, especially my beautiful onyx sisters, especially my freaking shade of the galaxies. You got to believe that you can achieve. You got to perceive before you receive. You got to believe in yourself. It starts with you. If you say you only could do an escort, you only could do a Splendor baby, that's not true. You got to travel. Thank you so much, Morgan. You got to travel. When my husband took me to Prague for our honeymoon, and I did not want to go, I said, what the fuck is a Prague? Like, I didn't know what a Prague was. Part of our passion as a couple is traveling. He's taking me to so many places all over Europe. And when I went to Prague, I saw so much melanin drip, dark skin, ebony rich, gorgeous Black women being loved, being loved and adored. I never heard of Prague before. Like, I don't know. It wasn't some place that I thought was gonna be nice, and it was beautiful. I liked it actually better than Paris. He took me to Paris for my birthday last year, and I was like, wow, this is nice. But anyway, Black women, there's a world within worlds. You got men worshiping you in Europe. Black men, Asian men, because United States is a different culture. United States is a light-skinned culture where they worship light-skinned women, biracial women, mixed women, Puerto Rican women, Dominican. You got to go to places and taste each tropics, because even the Black men in Europe are different than the Black men in America. My husband dropped me off. I don't want him to hear me. I don't know if he's here. My husband dropped me off at the store. And I was shopping at one of these fancy stores in the city. And I was by myself, and I was looking nice. I was looking fresh. I was looking trim. I had on my waist trainer. Ugh. And a lot of decent Black men came up to me dressed like a polo outfit. Very handsome brothers. I was like, wait a minute. Hello, hi, what's your name? Are you American? Would you like to go out to dinner? Would you like to go out tonight? I have reservations. Oh, I can make reservations. I was like, yo, I never heard the word reservations so much. Like, it was man. They didn't say, you want to Netflix and chill. I have reservations in the city. Would you like to come to London? Oh, have you eaten at this place? I have reservations for a four star. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Ladies, there's different atmospheres, there's different societies, there's different cultures, there's different environments. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what's going on right now? And I was like in shock. I was just like, okay. Because no guy has ever approached me and said, I got reservations. Like, I guess it's a British thing. They don't say, can I take you out? They're like, I can make reservations. Where would you like to go? And this was just the norm. That was just how they was rolling. And, I just feel so many of us get, oh, you're British? It was funny to me. I was like, what's going on with the reservations? Is that a British thing? Like, why can't you just say I want to take you out? Why you gotta say I gotta make words? I don't know. It was just weird to me, but weird in a good way. My whole point, sisters, is I love you. I adore you. You need to hear that. I believe in the sisterhood because the sisterhood was there for me. I'm learning to be more forgiving, compassionate, and it makes me feel more feminine and more soft. I'm learning to deal with my trauma issues, my stuff, as a coach, and as a mentor to Black women. And I'm learning to have boundaries and respect people's boundaries. And I'm learning the essence of femininity is empathy. The heart of femininity is not twirling around in a skirt and wearing lipstick. The heart of femininity is compassion and forgiveness and, being soft. And that's why Black women are perceived the opposite, because in order for you to be compassionate, forgiving, empathy, emotional intelligence, and soft, you have to feel safe. You have to feel protected. Everything I just explained to you are reaction behaviors. You feel soft when you're treated with tenderness. You feel loving when you're treated with passion. You feel forgiving when you're treated with integrity. You feel compassion when you're treated with, care. Everything is a responsive measure. So we as Black women, our duty is to make sure we are courted for that accordingly. And I really want Black women to know it's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful place. And I want us to heal. I want us to not feel embarrassed to be victims. And it's true, not to feel embarrassed. I want us to understand that you are a limitless creature, that you can have what you want. You can truly live the life. I've always wanted a Christian husband. I've always wanted a husband I can pray with. I've always wanted a husband that was traditional. I always wanted a husband that wanted to have a family. I always wanted a husband that, he come home from work, I kiss him and I bring him his dinner. I always wanted a husband that wanted to do philanthropy with me. I want to open a center for sexually abused Black women. I want to open charities for Black women. I want to help Black women. And finding somebody like that who wants to do that with me is a blessing. And I never thought in a million years that would happen in my lifetime. I thought it was a fantasy. So I'm here to tell you, your passion and your focus becomes you, whether it's negative or positive. And I really want to see, I hope you're watching this, join the Laws of Enchantress, the free page. If you like what you see, join the program. It's only $199. It's a lifetime program. I have over 20 people that got married, people that lost weight, people that use it for business. There's so much you can do, but it's truly, I can proudly say, from what I see, the best program in terms of loving yourself, healing yourself, empowering yourself, believing in yourself, transcending in yourself, learning how to deal with pain and depression, anxiety, and really just breaking through your own limitations as a Black woman. And like I said, Black men, I wish I had a Black guy I worked with, because Black men are just, their king chromosome is not on. And like I said, if that king chromosome gets turned on, if black men start providing, if black men take black women out the workforce and she can stay home, make her passive income, learn how to invest, learn the stock market, learn the Roths, the IRAs, the 401ks, if the black woman starts to become the manager of the home, they will be terrified. I know they're terrified of it because I'm in groups. I go I go on my husband's page and he's white and I go in the groups and they're terrified of black trad wives. They are terrified for black men to be traditional. They don't want it. They said this is our worst nightmare. Who are these black girls? And they don't like it. That's why they like Candace Owens, because she's a conservative, but she's kind of like anti-black. If she was encouraging black men to get married, to be leaders, they don't want it. They hate it. Do you know how much times they attack my Facebook page? And why are you? Because I have another page called The Happy Traditionalist, and they don't like that. They don't want black people to do the nuclear family. They don't want black, because if the black man starts believing in himself, it's a game over. It's really game over, and they have the capacity to do so. So it's all about healing. Yeah, it's all about healing and understanding each other and the psychology of the trauma we've been through. And I just think that it's sad because it's so easy to make money with this. It's such a triggering subject. You got black women that says, horrible things, and they treat you the same as the black men do. I don't get it. And we need to understand we are tied to each other, and we really have to get down to the healing of it. So that's it. I have no idea where my husband is. When he's this quiet for this long, I get nervous. But blessings to all. Join the Laws of Enchantress. Please join the Laws of Enchantress YouTube page so I can go live. I got about 800 people, but to go live, I think I gotta have 1,000. So please join and subscribe. If you're interested in joining my program or one-on-one coaching with me, please let me know. You can message me on Connie Loren Comer, Comer. That's my married name. You can send me a messenger or just tag me on my Facebook. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this talk. I hope you found it productive. And I just hope you truly know that you can have the life you deserve. There's no limitations, no shade to anyone. I just think you deserve to know your options. You make the choice for you, but I think you deserve to know your options. Make the choice for you. I don't want you to make choices as black women because you don't believe you can succeed. You don't believe, or you've been hurt. We've all been there. I've been hurt. I've been plagued. I've been depressed. I had anxiety. I had pain. I had mental stress. We've all been there. But the most important thing is working with your healing, getting the help you need, and getting the life you deserve. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me. And be sure to share this video, like and subscribe. And don't forget Laws of Enchantress program on my free page. You can check it out there. Bye-bye, guys. Have a good night.